Free from pain, free from scars, free my dogs are free to go. The streets is hot, my pizza's cold. What's up, YouTube? It's Bernard Willis, and I haven't made a video in forever, but after listening to this J.Cole album, I had to sit down and give it a thorough review because I thought it was stellar, and as a rapper and a fan, I was truly inspired by this project, so please tune in for my bullshit. First off, I have to talk about this intro, which I thought was beautiful. Scanning back through J. Cole's old intros, the only one that really stood out to me was the Cold World one. But besides that, all the other intros, they were pretty bland. Illuminati on Born Center, I found that intro slightly disappointing. Friday Night Lights, he really didn't rap on the intro, so you can't really draw those for comparison. So I think, hands down, this is the best J. Cole intro. It starts off slow, there's a light piano, and when it started I was like, okay, the usual J. Cole intro. But as the beat starts progressing, you start to hear some horns, and then the piano starts to pick up, and J. Cole just starts mixing rap with melody, coming out with some pretty good rhyme patterns, and you really get like this climatic intro. It starts off slow, you're like wondering where he's gonna take it, and then when he picks up with the instrumental, it's just like a beautiful unison between him and the beat, and you're really just brought into that J. Cole mood, that dark, but at the same time introspective J. Cole mood of an album. After the intro, we make a transition into January 28th, which has some pretty airy female vocals and a simple drum pattern. One disappointment I have about this album, if you go back and listen to some old Cole, like Friday Night Lights, the warm-up, J. Cole really likes to sample drum breaks. And I really wish he did that because I think that would have brought more life to a lot of the drums on this beat. But regardless, it's a dope beat. J. Cole came out spitting pretty hard on this track, but as far as lyrical content, I didn't get anything new from him, so on first listen, this track wasn't very appealing. When I started playing back the album a couple more times, I got down with it, but at first, this wasn't anything new from J. Cole to me. Now, Wet Dreams is very reminiscent of some old J. Cole, but since it was a new story, it was very easy to get down with. The beat has a soul sample and nothing too exciting at this point. I think the beats really pick up after this song. But what I'm talking about old J. Cole, when you hear his rapping style, in the main track he's rapping, and then the dubs he's like melodizing a little bit. He's like, man, what? I'm thinking how she rides out and if she sits. And it's like that J. Cole used to do that style a lot, and I think that style is dope. He's perfected that, and now that he's getting back to his roots of a style like that, I think it's really dope. We didn't really see that on Born Center. What I really like about this song is on first listen, there's something to look forward to. There's a storyline that progresses. In the usual rap song, it's like, I got bitches, I got hoes, and not like this on a rap because I'm a rapper, But usually, like, the subject line, it stagnates and there's really nothing to look forward to, even if you haven't heard the song for the first time. But on first listen, we're following along with the storyline, and J. Cole paints good imagery, and he's very clever in his storytelling. '03 Adolescence is probably my favorite song on the album. When I first heard the song, I had the beat in my head like the whole day. I couldn't wait to get home and play this song back because I thought it was so dope. It was produced by Willie B, who's a guy off TDE's production team, and he always makes dope shit, dope sampled shit, and this beat was no exception to that. So on this song, J. Cole starts to get very introspective, especially on the second verse. He's talking to one of his friends, and he sees his friend out there like living the street life, and J. Cole's like, yo, I want to be with the shits, like what I got to do to get on this money. And his friend's telling him like, no, you don't want to go there. I would much rather be in your position, about to get a college degree and living a successful life. And that was really insightful, and when you hear the verse, like it has to touch you because J. Cole paints it so well. And as far as the beat, it almost feels dreamy. There's a lot of like high-pitched instruments going on in there in the sample. As a guy singing, he's like la la la, and you just feel like you're in like this dream world almost. And I feel like I'm there with Cole in his adolescence, and we're going through it together, even though we're not. And this next song, A Tale of Two Cities, bangs. Like the beat has this slow trap melody, and it's kind of to like over this gritty instrument, and besides that there's the bass and the drums, but that's all this track needs because it's a certified banger. I've heard some people say that the flow is influenced by Drake's Worst Behavior, and I can agree, where he's abruptly stopping after the snare, and that's kind of like the flow style. In the second verse he switches up a little bit, and I think he like expands on what Drake was doing on Worst Behavior, but there's for sure some influence there. Then we have Fire Squad, probably one of the most controversial records on the album. And for me, honestly, the beat didn't do much for me. I thought it was just subpar. No elements really stood out to me. But as far as J. Cole's verses go, he goes hard as fuck. Especially on the second and third verse. He really just snaps on everybody and shows them that he can spit. And then he has this little poetry bit at the end, which it's pretty good. So I can appreciate that. The next song we have is GOMD, Get Off My Dick. And honestly, the beat for me on this one, it didn't do much for me either. I thought the synthesizer and the sample didn't clash very well, specifically on the chorus. But I thought it was cool, and J. Cole deepened his voice on the chorus. I thought that worked out, and eventually I found myself singing along, so I could get down with that. On the second verse, he talks about love, and I think that's a big motif on this album, especially when you get later down the album. You have songs like Hello, Apparently, and Love Yours, which all follow out the motif, and then you have Wet Dreams at the beginning. I think J. Cole really tried to have an overall message with this album, and I think a lot of it just stems from love. You know, he talks about his city, he talks about growing up and, you know, the being back home and everything, but being back home, you know, it's really just all about love and being around the people you care about. So I thought that was nice how he tied that all together. The next song, Role Models, has a cool little beat. I don't think I jock it as much as most people do, but it's definitely cool. It's a little like piano line, kind of mainstream. It's just like dun 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 dun, you know, hitting on the downbeats, and then it has some horns in the background. The higher frequencies are muted, and it's just all meshed together really nice. The snares and like the percussion they chose to use on this was really calculated. I really liked the beat. My favorite part was the bridge in the song after the skit, where it's like, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can put the blame on you. Screw me three times, fuck the peace sign, load the chopper, let it rain on you. I just thought the way he got that off was really dope. Now the song Hellos is something a little different from J. Cole. It has some live instrumentation. He's singing on the whole thing. But the song as a whole just comes together really nice, and I feel like with a few adjustments, it really could get some radio spins, and it's actually quite a catchy and somewhat inspiring tune. And if my opinion seems hecka biased, well, that's because it is. I'm a huge J. Cole stan, but I like this album a lot better than his previous two, and I feel like he put a lot of good effort into it. So that's why you hear the bias come out, but it comes from a place where I think J. Cole is truly progressing and getting doper with his music. The next song apparently kind of follows the mood of Hello in that he's predominantly singing and there's a lot of live instrumentation going on. Except there's a little portion here, like maybe 8 bars where maybe 16, I'm not sure. But he just goes off and he spits like one of the dopest rap verses on the album, just as far as like rhyme patterns and figurative language goes. I see some more Drake influence here, just on the second part of the first verse where he's like, when they snatched it from my mama and foreclosed on alone, and that whole like melodic little like flow right there, just some Drake-ish influence, something I gotta point out. I really like the beat on this next song, Love Yours, just like this elegant piano loop and some strings that come in occasionally. And I really like J. Cole's delivery on this too. This, even without the lyrics, just the way he gets it off, it's like da 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 da. Like the rhythm of it is just it's really nice, and I think that's something as an artist, you know, I can pull inspiration from that and try to like incorporate that in my own shit, just the way he got that delivery off. And then the closing song, Note to Self, is really good. I think on Apparently Hello and Note to Yourself, J. Cole really does a good job of showing us, you know, he has singing capability and he really has his shit down to a T in the way he does it, and especially over this live instrumentation. He's killing shit, you know, even though he's singing. And then really I liked how the credits were live in this version, and you know, towards like the last 5-6 minutes, J. Cole was getting all hyped up and crazy, and you feel like the end of the album with him. And so great closer, no complaints. So thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're the shit. There's be links to my stuff in the description, and if you guys subscribe, I'll make some more videos. If not, I'll just give up. But who knows? If y'all niggas like it, then I'm down. Peace.